The Eagles beat the Washington Commanders 34-31 in overtime, and we are here to break down the biggest plays. And we're going to start with the offense first. Jalen Hurts had a season-high 319 yards through the air. It was the most explosive day so far of the 2023 season. On the receiving end of 175 of those yards, that's wide receiver A.J. Brown. We're going to take a look at some of his biggest catches and really focus in on the little things that made them go. The devil is in the details at wide receiver. And you watch A.J. Brown, he's going to win on a 15-yard slant route here for the Eagles early on in this football game. Watch him beat the jam. He's going to work vertically, and it's really important to push that vertical stem. Watch him sell the vertical route before sticking his foot in the ground and jabbing back inside. You see the separation he creates there. He makes himself available for Jalen Hurts. Easy pitch and catch, and it becomes a first down. That was a great release with a great route from A.J. Brown to get a first down. A little bit later, you've got Dallas Goedert. He does something very similar at the top of this route. He's just running an over route here. It's a 3-level stretch. Great throw, great catch. Eagles get a first down. Now, let's take a closer look at the route here from the tight angle, and you're going to see Goedert. He's going to also hold that vertical stem. He's going to push vertically at the top of this route. Watch here. Really, instead of rounding this route off, he's going to push it vertical up the seam right there, and now he's going to separate. You watch him run away. He draws the holding penalty there. Outstanding job from Dallas Goedert. Great finish, great ball from Hurts, and the Eagles get another first down. But when you get a great release, sometimes it's all about setting up your buddy, and that's exactly what Olamide Zaccheaus does on the inside. It's a double slant concept. He has got to win inside Zaccheaus so that he can clear up this passing lane. Watch what he does to the nickel corner. Again, working vertically. He crossed his face. He's really selling that in-breaking route. That creates space for A.J. Brown, and A.J.'s able to win on a slant. You'll love the nuances from the Eagles receivers. All of their pass catchers, you could tell they're very well coached, and again, the devil is in the details. All right, so on one of those plays, you saw Olamide Zaccheaus break open there and set up the passing lane window for A.J. Brown. Well, it just so happens that OZ, he was at the forefront of A.J. Brown's first touchdown. Let's take a look at the film. All right, let's take a look at A.J. Brown's first of 2 touchdowns on the afternoon. It comes out of 11 personnel. You see A.J. Brown at the top of the screen. Dallas Goedert lined up just inside him. Before the snap, Jalen Hurts puts Goedert in motion. Number one, that confirms man coverage, but that also gets alarm bells rolling for the Washington Commanders, and they've got all eyes on number 88. The Eagles fake a screen that side, and look at what that does to the Washington defense. That gets those defenders to trigger. This is a great ball from Jalen Hurts down the field, but watch, just before it's caught, look at Olamide Zaccheaus. Look at the change in speed here. This is unreal, relentless pursuit. Getting downfield, he's going to lay the final block. Give some love to DeAndre Swift as well. He's going to help escort A.J. Brown into the end zone. A.J. does not get in without the help of his buddies. Outstanding effort there from DeAndre Swift and Olamide Zaccheaus. They help A.J. Brown get to pay dirt. On the day, Jalen Hurts completed 6 passes that went over 20 yards. And when you have plays like that, you need everybody to do their part. And one guy that had a really big impact in the passing game, Dallas Goedert. Only 2 catches on the day, but look at how he impacted some of the biggest plays for Jalen Hurts. Dallas Goedert had 2 catches on the day, but he had a huge impact on Jalen Hurts in the pass game. Watch him here, lined up in the slot, attack down the field and push vertically. This is a cover 4 call from Washington, and that quarter safety on that side, he's going to be responsible for Dallas if he works vertically up the field past 8 to 10 yards, and that's exactly what Dallas does. He sells the vertical route, he breaks outside, and that opens up the middle of the field. This is one of the biggest plays of the day. This changed the momentum. A great catch from DeAndre Swift down the field on a post route against cover 4. Outstanding throw, outstanding catch. It started with Dallas Goedert's route. Same could be said right here. I thought this was Jalen's best throw of the day. It came against cover 2, and you watch Dallas Goedert working down the seam again, attacking that safety. When you've got 2 routes coming at you, if you're a safety in cover 2, you kind of have to split the difference. You have to respect the seam, that threat down the middle of the field. Well, that gives plenty of room on the outside for Jalen Hurts to drop this one. You call that the turkey hole, that space between the corner and the safety. He ropes one right to A.J. Brown for a big play and a first down. And again, that's Dallas Goedert working the seam, holding the safety. And as we know, Dallas Goedert, not only does he impact the pass game, but the run game as well. He was a big part of why DeAndre Swift was able to get into the end zone on the opening drive for a touchdown. Let's take a look and see why that one got into the end zone. This is the opening drive. DeAndre Swift gets into the end zone. It's a touchdown. It's an inside zone run. This is super easy, but you've got 4 blockers on the left to 5 defenders. How did the Eagles get the math back in their favor? Well, let's bring A.J. Brown in motion. Watch what that does to Washington's defense. When A.J. comes across the formation, the linebacker bumps out with him. So right away, you've got a linebacker removed from the formation. Dallas Goedert, he's crossing here. He's going to block the backside DN. That's going to bring that safety a little further inside. Olamide Zaccheaus, he's going to crack that safety. You've got a good angle here. Landon Dickerson, Jordan Mailata, Carolina. They create the runway. That corner got a little nosy there on Zacchaeus, and Swift walks into the end zone. He is untouched. Big-time play. Great design. Great use of motion. Good blocking up front. This one checked all the boxes here as Swift gets into the end zone to start the game off for the offense. Going over the defensive side, the big story from Sunday's win has to be linebacker Nicholas Maro, being the first Eagle in history to record 10 tackles, 3 sacks, and a forced fumble in the same game. Let's take a look at that hat trick for Nicholas Maro. All right, let's take a look at the 3 sacks here from Nicholas Maro. First one came on 3rd and long. The Eagles in a double mug front. You've got Nicholas Maro and Zach Cunningham up on the line of scrimmage, and right away, you have to have a plan for this as an offensive line. Now, they're a cross dog pressure here. That creates a 2-on-2 with the center and the running back. But with a stunt, now you're asking those two guys to work in tandem. We saw Jason Kelce and DeAndre Swift do this a couple weeks ago against Minnesota. Washington not able to execute, and Maro gets home for the sack. So a great scheme to get the Eagles off the field and force a punt. Later in the game, 3rd and 4. Nicholas Maro's not blitzing on this play. He's actually playing as a hole player underneath, just kind of working the middle of the field, surveying the action. He's going to play any routes that come into his area. Fletcher Cox and Hassan Reddick, they do some work up front, and he immediately, once he sees Howell is in trouble, he's going to trigger downhill, and he ends up cleaning up this play for his 2nd sack. Later, this is in the 4th quarter, it's 1st and 10. This one is a designed blitz. He's just going to come from depth, he disguises it well, and he's going to get home clean. That's 3 sacks in the day from Nicholas Maro. First Eagle ever to get 3 sacks, 10 tackles, and a forced fumble in one game. And whenever your linebackers are making plays, you know the defensive line is putting in work. Fletcher Cox was excellent on Sunday against Washington. Let's take a look at some of my favorite plays from number 91. I'm going to be honest. I thought that Fletcher Cox was the best player on the field in Sunday's game. You watch him here against the run. He's going to set a strong edge on this outside zone run for Washington. He's going to force the ball back inside to his help. The Eagles have one of the best run defenses in the league. Fletcher Cox, a big reason why. That's him at the point of attack, but he also makes plays from the backside as well. I want you to watch him here. This is against an odd front. You're going to see Fletcher Cox stand up the offensive lineman. He's got eyes on the backfield, on the football. Jordan Davis is holding up his ground, and now you've got Fletcher coming from the backside. Both guys collision the ball carrier at the line of scrimmage, and you get a stop. This is the first play overtime. Fletcher Cox comes out. He sets the tone. Look at him reset the line of scrimmage. Again, forcing the ball back inside, but he gets off the block this time, and he makes the stop alongside Milton Williams. Great play there from Fletcher Cox, but it wasn't just the run game against the Commanders. Watch him here one-on-one with the right guard, Sam Cosmi. They're sliding away from Fletcher Cox, leaving the one-on-one. Here's the Reggie White hump move. He gets home. We're a big hit on quarterback Sam Howell. Great rush there from Fletcher Cox. Now this play that's coming up, it's going to look exactly the same because you know what? He hits the same exact move another time here against Cosmi. Watch him with the arms off the ball, sells the hump move, and he's able to win again inside. This time it results in a near sack. He gets Sam Howell off his spot. Nicholas Maro is there to clean it up. Fletcher Cox was outstanding both against the run and the pass and his discipline as well. Again, here on the opposite side, you've got the Eagles defensive line running a stunt. He's going to do a great job of playing over top of this, taking away the escape lane for Sam Howell and forcing a throwaway, an incomplete pass. Fletcher Cox checked all the boxes in this game. Going into this game, Hassan Reddick had yet to register a sack in the 2023 season, even though his pressure rate was actually a little bit higher than what it was a year ago. Well, he got on the board this week against Washington. Let's take a look at that sack and some of his other top pass rushes on the afternoon. One of the cleanest pass rush moves in all of football right now is the Superman cross chop, and that's what you get here from Hassan Reddick. Look at him take flight. He's able to swat down the hands of the right tackle, turn the corner, and he gets home for a sack. Josh Sweat's back there as well. It's a party at the quarterback. Now, that was Reddick's first sack of the season, but he has been a constant nuisance for opposing quarterbacks. You see here, him swiping at the football. This ends up being a sack for Nicholas Maro, but Reddick, he got the pressure, and he drew a penalty flag. So even if Washington was able to create a big play, you see Reddick, he knows he did his job on that one, this close to another sack. And then you also see a little bit later in the game as well, he's able to beat Wiley off the right side. You see him swiping at that football again. That's what Reddick is always so good at. He's an inch away from getting another sack there, but Maro just happened to get there first with a clean runway from the second level. Hassan Reddick up to his old tricks here this week against Washington. And we know that the Eagles really like to use Hassan Reddick on stunts. Right now, the Eagles rank in the top 10 in the NFL. Half of their stunts result in pressures of the opposing quarterback. That worked for them really well in this game. Let's take a look at how some stunting helped set up the final defensive play. The Eagles played the Bucs last week, but here we're going to take a look at a couple of Pirate stunts. That's a 5-man front. All right, so the Eagles in a penny package, 5 DBs, 5 defensive linemen. And when you have a Pirate stunt, you've got 3 defensive linemen all working together. Right away, Washington's a little bit worried about this combination, right? So they're going to slide the protection that way. You've got Graham and Carter slanting outside with Sweat looping inside. The center doesn't see Sweat coming. He's going to get home clean. You see quarterback Sam Howell. He's not able to fully step into this throw, and he throws this is an uncatchable ball into the stands on the left sideline. Now, let's fast forward to a little bit later in the game. This is actually the final play of Washington's offense. It's overtime. It's 3rd and 6. Same front. You've got a similar combination. This time it's BG with Milton Williams and Sweat off that right side. Again, Washington's going to slide that way. The same stunt. Center's not getting fooled this time. He stays home to protect against the looper. But you've got BG and Milton Williams. Both guys are able to get home. Look at Sam Howell. He's got to step back. He had the double clutch. That forces that ball out a little bit later than he likes, and that ball is now out towards the sideline. We know how this story ends. It becomes incomplete. And it's incomplete because the pressure got home, affected the quarterback, affected the timing of the play, and the Eagles win the football game a few minutes later. Obviously a huge play there at the end of the game, and we saw that Josh Sweat pressure on that first snap. Josh Sweat had 9 pressures in this game. That's a career high for the young star pass rusher. And if you want to get more analysis like this, be sure to stay tuned for Eagles game plan later this week. Greg Cosell, Mike Quick, Ike Reese, John Clark. We're going to have a special guest as well from the coaching staff breaking down the film. We're going to get you ready for Eagles-Rams in Week 5. Stay subscribed right here on the Eagles YouTube page.